What's going on, Golf Addicts? DB here, and in this video, I'm going to give you 7 outright bets for the Masters that I'm looking ahead to. And I'm seeing some numbers and some names that aren't lining up, and I think if you're interested in these guys, you should probably go ahead and lay the bet down. Let's get into it. The first one I'm going to talk about is a guy who's on fire. Scotty Scheffler is at 35 to 1 on DraftKings right now. It's the best number you can find on him. Again, this is the Monday before the Players. I'm recording this. He just won the Arnold Palmer. He also just won the Waste Management Phoenix Open. So you may be saying, well, dang, this probably isn't the best time to jump on Scotty. I should have got that number when he was longer. And yeah, you're right. You probably should have. We probably should have all seen it coming. The kid's got a lot of talent. But at the end of the day, he's still one of the hottest players on the planet right now. I believe now he's up to number 4 in the world golf ranking. And he's just killing it. And he's got the all around game. There's not really a serious hole in the boat. We've got these young guys like Victor Hovland, great player, great ball striker, improving around the greens and on the greens, but he's got a hole in the boat. He still can't chip and putt or chip and get out of the sand and get himself out of trouble. On weeks where he's okay at that, he's great. But Scotty just doesn't seem to have those holes in the boat, and the demeanor and the temperament of Scotty is perfect for major championships. That's why he's done so well. And even in his first 2 appearances at the Augusta National, he's finished 19th and 18th last year in 2021. I think it's a great place for him. And 35 to 1, yes, while the number was better, I mean, I still why miss out on the 35 to 1? Like, let's not get greedy here. I think the kid still has a real chance to win the Masters. And at 35 to 1, I don't think it's going to get any longer. So if you want it, I think you grab it. The next name I want to bring up to you is around 40 to 1, and that is Mr. Daniel Berger. We haven't seen Berger do a whole lot at Augusta National, but it hasn't been, let's see, it hasn't been terrible. His first year out, he finished 10th. Then he followed it up with a 27th, a 32nd, and a missed cut. Now, the trend line there is not great, right? He's not trending nicely at Augusta, but I will say the game is trending really nice right now. We've last seen him at the time of this video finishing 4th at the Honda. He could have won that. He could have won that tournament. He kind of choked it away to our boy Sepp Straka. 5th at the Century Tournament of Champions. Had a good year last year. Good performances at the Open Championship, the U.S. Open. We know Berger can play on tough golf courses. The ball striking is always tremendous. So I think Daniel Berger is one to watch. Now, his worst putting surface is bent grass. That's not the best thing, but he's proven that he can do something at Augusta National. And so, given the form, 40 to 1 is the longest number that I can find on him as well on DraftKings Sportsbook. I think I'll take that one. All right, now the next group of names I'm going to give you all fall in the 66 to 1 range, currently all on PointsBet, and these numbers are much shorter in other books. The first one is Corey Connors. Now, Connors kind of started off 2022 pretty rough, but we finally just saw the ball striking Corey Connors that we know show back up at the Arnold Palmer on his way to, I think, a top 15 finish, but he gained like 7 strokes on the tee and approach, which is not what we've been seeing. We've been seeing him not even gain strokes ball striking. So it's good to see the ball striking coming back around. That's the reason he made it back on here. But his form at Augusta National has been improving since he came out. He came out his first time in 2015 and missed the cut, followed it up with a 46th, then a 10th in 2020 in the November Masters, and then just last year finished 8th in 2021. Connors clearly likes his place. He's a tremendous ball striker. He can play well on hard courses. All you're looking for is one of those weeks where he just doesn't suck putting. Bent grass is not his worst putting surface, but he tends to just lose strokes in general putting. But to see the ball striking come back around shows some promise to me for Corey Connors. So hopefully he does something decent. He continues to show the good form at the Players Championship. But if he does, I see that. No, I think this number that we have now at 66 to 1 is, I think, predicated on bad ball striking Corey Connors. But now, if it's turning around after the Arnold Palmer, we could see this number get shorter, especially with a guy who has a couple strong finishes in his last attempts at Augusta National. The next name I'm going to give you is Matthew Fitzpatrick at 66 to 1 as well on PointsBet. Now, he's as short as 50 to 1 on DraftKings. You're getting a little value there. And Fitzy's been on quite the roll in 2022. Really good performances so far in 2022 with a 6th at Pebble, a 10th at the Phoenix Open, top 10 again at the Arnold Palmer. So he's playing well on tough golf courses. He's added a little length off the tee in like the last 12 months. I think that's good. He's only ever missed one cut at Augusta National, and it was his first attempt in 2014. You know, Not really any top 10 finishes in recent years, but he's making the cut. He's steady at Augusta, and I think he's playing really well right now. I'm not saying I love that number at 66 to 1 for Matthew Fitzpatrick. I do think, though, if you like Fitzpatrick, if you think that that could happen, I do think that number is not going to get any longer. I'll be tempted. I'll put it that way. I may be more inclined to throw down a top 10 bet or play him in DraftKings, but the 66 to 1 it's tempting, and the value over the other books is also tempting. The next one that is tempting to me is another one at 66 to 1 whose number I could only find at 50 to 1 was Mark Leishman, the Aussie. Now we know Aussies tend to do well at Augusta National. We've seen that in years past, and Leishman's playing great. Started off the Century, did okay, 10th there, 16th at the Farmers, 15th at the Genesis, made the cut at the API, but struggled over the weekend. But a lot of guys did. It was carnage. But Augusta National, he loves. Fourth place finish in 2013, a ninth in 2018, a 13th in 2020, a fifth in 2021. Mark Leachman just loves Augusta National. I think he can play it if conditions are perfect. He can hang. I think he can play it if conditions get a little gnarly. I mean, I'm here in Augusta. Like we do get some years where stuff just gets weird. The wind starts blowing, something rainy, nasty. I don't know. But Leishman he's just one of those players that can do it in any conditions. And at 66 to 1 on points bet, I don't see you finding a longer number than that pre-tournament either. And I like the Mark Leishman lean here at Augusta National. All right, so before I get into my last two outright picks that I think you should snag right now for the Masters in 2022, I want you to go ahead and give this video a like, hit the subscribe button if you will. We're pushing out a ton of content every week. If you're betting, if you're playing DFS on the PGA Tour, this is what we do. It's what we've done for 7 years. We've been doing it for a long time, all right? The podcast channel is up and running. Check that out, Tour Junkies podcast, wherever you listen to those. And there's links below. You can hop up in the Nut Hut, which is our Discord server, our private server. We chat with people 24/7 in there. It's a great community. It's growing, it's thriving, and it's going to be popping for the Masters. And, we might give away a free month in the Nut Hut to somebody who comments on this video. And we'll start that for Masters Week. So you get it for Masters in a month after. It's a great value. Comment on this video, one of two things. Give me a fade, a guy at the Masters you're looking at and you're going, I'm not touching him, not happening, not tempted, not doing it. Okay. Give me a fade. Or give me maybe your favorite, like looking ahead outright bet for the Masters. Let's say longer than 25 to 1 or something, right? Anybody can pick a favorite, right? That's not what we do here. So 25 to 1 or longer, who's kind of your pick right now to win the Masters in 2022? Or give me a guy you're completely staying away from. Somebody in the comments is going to get a free month in the Nut Hut. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Here we go. Last two picks. This one, pretty big value here on these next two. Shane Lowry on points bet is 90 to 1. He's 65 to 1 everywhere else. So I think if you want to grab Shane, hopefully that number's still there. I would probably grab him up to like 875 or 80 to 1. He has been playing well, improving his form at Augusta National as well. 25th in 2020, 21st in 2021. That followed a few miscuts and a T39. But Shane Lowry's come out doing okay. He played well overseas earlier this year. Played well in the FedEx Cup playoffs last year in stacked fields, tough courses. Finished second at PGA National for the Honda back in February. Again, recording this before the Players, so I can't really see that. But he's a big game player. Fourth at the PGA last year, 12th at the U.S. Open last year. I'm sorry, the Open Championship. Eighth at the Players last year. Those are tough courses, tough fields. Shane Lowry just shows up. It's because he doesn't have a lot of holes in the boat, right? Decent off the tee, decent with his irons, great scrambler, decent putter. I think Shane Lowry's one to watch. He gained strokes on bent grass, which is good. But 90 to 1 is a lot of value on Shane Lowry. And don't forget, Augusta National is a place where experience and history definitely matters. It's probably one of the more predictive course history courses that's out there. Now, that doesn't mean you weight it too much, but it definitely means that there's some weight applied. And I think Shane Lowry is one of those guys who's got enough trips around Augusta, and he's starting to improve year in, year out, and I think he's one to watch. Now, the last outright bet that I think you need to jump on. Some of you who've been listening to the Tour Junkies podcast for a while may say, all right, DB, we get it. All right. But I got to back it up, man. Our boy Siwoo Kim. You want to talk about experience and performance and course history at Augusta National for a guy that is 100 to 1 on points bet, 80 to 1 everywhere else? Siwoo Kim, the South Korean prince, baby. All right. Well, yeah, 100 to 1 on points bet. Listen to his Masters record. His very first year in 2017, after he won the Players Championship, which is a big deal, he won at 400 to 1. He missed the cut at the Masters. Yeah, that's going to happen, right? Then he followed that up with a 24th, a 21st, a 34th in November. Worst finish being there in November since that first time out. And then a 12th last year in April. Siwoo Kim loves this golf course. It suits him. He hits it off the tee. He hits it long enough off the tee. He's aggressive on par fives. He scores, and he can roll the rock when he's hot. He's not the best putter on tour, but he can roll it. All right, and he's had pops of form here in 2022. 11th at the Amex, 11th at the Farmers at Torrey Pines. Coming off a 26th, I think, place finish at the API on a very tough weekend, and he shot like 2 over on Sunday within brutal conditions when guys were shooting 80s. All right. I think Sungjae gets up for the Masters. I mean, sorry, Siwoo gets up for the Masters. Sungjae does too. But I just think the value on Siwoo at 100 to 1 is too good to pass up right now. Could it stay the same? Yeah. Is it going to get any longer? Probably not. But I think you jump on that. All right. So there you go. There you have it. Those are 7 outrights that I think right now, before the Players Championship, you should consider taking a look at, getting some value on. Most of them coming from PointsBet, giving you some early value on those Masters futures. All right. Like, subscribe, comment, and let's have a great week. Bend over your bookie, people. See you.